W News at noon.
Well, the big moment has finally arrived. Oregon 22, the World Athletics Championships, are underway in Eugene. Thank you for joining us. I'm Brenda Braxton. The first event was the hammer throw. It kicked off just a few hours ago. Almost 2,000 of the world's best track and field athletes will compete over the next 10 days. Thousands of visitors from all over the globe are coming along too. This competition is at Hayward Field through July 24th. Also tonight, if you plan to catch some of the coverage on the USA Network or streaming on Peacock, you will see Portland native Ryan Krauser. He's scheduled to throw the shot put at the qualification round. Competition starts at 6:55 this evening, and we will have plenty of coverage on air and online at kgw.com as Team USA and some of the athletes who live and train locally try to medal. Well, whether you're heading down to Eugene or just sticking around town, Rob, the weather today is looking great.
Yeah, you know, this morning I said, shame on me, by the way, I said I wasn't sure if we'd clear out today along the north coast, but we have. So everybody's enjoying a beautiful Friday at this point. Lots of folks on the beach. The tide's out a little bit, it looks like. The Haystack Rock, 68 degrees. So on the way to at least hitting the low 70s probably. And we did expect this, just beautiful blue skies all day, and that's what we have. We're at 73 degrees right now in Portland, and the planner, no problems here. 84 for a high, 77 at 8 o'clock. The weekend still looks cooler. And also there's a fire weather watch for parts of our area where breezy winds and dry conditions could help spread some sparks. We'll talk more about that coming up.
Lots to talk about, Rob. Thank you. New at noon, the Oregon Department of Human Services is asking for help finding two missing children. 17-year-old Heidi Hernandez Lopez disappeared with her 4-year-old son, Damir, on July 11th from the Portland area. They were both in foster care and are believed to be in danger. The two may be in Portland or in Woodburn in those two areas. Heidi has a mole on her left cheek and often wears a red braided bracelet on her wrist. Damir is nonverbal. He often fidgets with his fingers or shakes his head from side to side when he's upset or when he's overwhelmed. Anyone with information is asked to call 911. We also have an update for you this noon on a missing 4-year-old girl. Authorities just announced that Bianca Evenson was found yesterday. She's been missing from the Portland area since July 8th. There are very few details about how or where she was found. On the U of O campus last night, more than 100 people gathered around Autzen Stadium to remember football player Spencer Webb. He died Wednesday near Triangle Lake after falling and hitting his head. Paramedics and bystanders couldn't revive him. Investigators say his death appears to be a tragic accident. Webb was a tight end for the Ducks heading into his 5th season. Over the past 2 days, friends, teammates, other programs, they've all shared thousands of messages on social media. Ducks head coach Dan Lanning tweeted, "So full of life in every moment of the day. Your smile and energy will be missed. I love you." And former Ducks coach Mario Cristobal tweeted, "Love you. Will always be proud of you. Rest in peace." KGW talked to a neighbor in Salem who heard the shootout that killed a teenage suspect and injured a police officer. This happened Wednesday near Oak Park Drive Northeast and Moreland Avenue. Officers say they were trying to arrest the 16-year-old boy in connection with 2 other shootings within the last several months. Police say they found him in his car where he pulled out a gun. That's when the teen and police exchanged fire. Here's what a witness had to say.
How many shots do you think you heard?
I wasn't counting, but it was a lot. I know there's at least more than 5. So when I heard him saying crossfire, crossfire, I'm just glad it's over with. I'm really surprised that something like that happened in our neighborhood.
One officer was also shot and taken to Salem Hospital. He is expected to survive. The 4 officers involved are on administrative leave. Here in Portland, A police oversight group is looking at new technology to address the city's spike in shootings. It's called ShotSpotter. It uses audio sensors to alert police whenever and wherever shots are fired. This group plans to recommend it to the mayor, although, as Evan Watson explains, ShotSpotter has its critics.
In Portland's ongoing search for solutions to rising gun violence, a community oversight group, FitCog, is seriously looking at ShotSpotter, a popular gunshot detection technology company used by police departments across the country.
The quicker we can get there, whether it's saving life or catching the shooter in the act, the better. And this potentially could help with that.
That's Portland Police Sergeant Kenneth Dulio, highlighting the biggest selling point for ShotSpotter: faster notification about potential gunshots. The sensors would be put up on street posts or buildings, covering a certain number of square miles that Portland leaders identify as a hotbed for gun violence.
You have a staffing issue, you have a limited resource issue, want to make sure you get full utility out of the service, putting it where it's most needed based on historical review of gunfire.
Ron Teachman is a former police chief turned ShotSpotter employee who answered questions in a public meeting Thursday night. One concern: ShotSpotter often costs big cities millions of dollars per year. Community members asked, is this the best use of money to prevent gun violence, knowing that budgets are limited?
The technology is reactive, and so it doesn't really seem to prevent shootings or actually address the problem of why shootings are occurring in the first place.
City assets should be going to ShotSpotter instead of specific communities. City assets should be going to ShotSpotter and everything else that should be used to reduce crime and address the root causes of gun violence. Now, of course, it's up to you and the police department and the city to decide whether or not ShotSpotter is worth it.
Whether it's worth it depends on another big question. Is it effective? Various studies across the country, including one from the Chicago Inspector General's office, found ShotSpotter alerts rarely led to arrests or evidence of gun-related crime. About 9 out of 10 times, Chicago officers responded to an alert and didn't find anything. A big strain on police resources. ShotSpotter representatives argue that's more of a critique of Chicago police officers.
87% of the calls didn't result in a police report. Doesn't mean it wasn't a positive result. Neighbors saw the police respond. The fact that the police didn't either have the time or make the effort to find any evidence doesn't mean that it wasn't a reportable incident.
FitCog plans to send recommendations about the potential use of ShotSpotter to the mayor's office on Monday. ShotSpotter employees point to other police department testimonials as reason enough to sign on.
There are some highly contagious people in the social disease of gun violence. And what can we do to have an intervention?
Evan Watson, KGW News.